Here it is. The next 11 songs are The Further Adventures of the Saw Doctors.
Kitchen drinks and talk so loud. We're in by the fire as the sun goes down. I'll meet you after work above the square. Cause tonight I kick the wall, but you're not there. I hope they understand. A town can force your hand.
It's great excitement for this album now because it's kind of, the band is kind of settled. For the first time for a good few years, we kind of settled on, you know, if our new members and that. We've been playing well together, and I think it's probably it's my favourite effort now for a long time for the band.
Oh, I thought it was forever, you and me. I hope they understand. A town can force your hand. So I'm taking a train in the soft morning rain, and I'm headed for the green hills far away.
The album is The Further Adventures of the Saw Doctors.
Further Adventures, I think that was Squiggly McHugh, friend of Leo's, and that's from a good few years ago. I think he did a poster for us one time for a gig, and he had like superheroes we were, apparently, you know. But he's a great cartoonist, and he called it like The Further Adventures of the Saw Doctors.
We've got a good team in the band at the moment. I'd say we've got the best lineup of the band that we've ever had. So it was the perfect moment, really. And I think we got it.
I hope they'll understand. A town can force your hand. So I'm taking a train in the soft morning rain, and I'm headed for the green hills far away. I'm taking a train in the soft Galway rain, and I'm headed for the green hills far away. Sing it,
Phil Tennant produced it, and he's got a completely different way of producing. He focuses on getting modern sounds rather than classic sounds. Well, incorporating the two, but it needs to have a modern feel most of the time when he's in charge. He wants to hear something fresh.
Phil is great company, and it's just a pleasure to be around, and we've really enjoyed recording this album.
He had an objective ear. He could kind of tell us what's going to work in the song and what might not, and you know, his input was really important to this album, absolutely.
We did some of it in Rockfield Studios, a legendary studio in Wales where Queen and Led Zeppelin and the list is as long as you like have recorded. And then we did some of it in Grouse Lodge up in Westmeath, which was another lovely experience.
You should know. Oh, you got to be yourself. You can't be anyone else. If you can't be yourself, you'll be alone. She can try.
Studio time, it would have been over a year period, but we wouldn't have been in the studio for a year, if you know what I mean. But like writing wise, it'd probably be about 3 years writing.
We've a lot of input from Avian on the drums now. Avian is even coming up with songs and lyrics and guitar riffs and all that. So when you have that kind of an input from a drummer, it's a great asset. It's not something that every band has. So I suppose his energy and his influence has been a very positive element in recording this album.
I went over to Davies one day, and the lads were doing a bit of writing, and they asked me for a bit of input, and straight away I blanked. But then we went back to Rockfield about 3 months after that, and I kind of sheepishly came along with an idea, for Be Yourself, and I said to Davey, a bit of a plan, and the boys really encouraged it then,
Big undertaking coming to a band that's been playing for years, But he has great confidence, and he's a great songwriter, and he's a great ear for music, and he's helped us an awful lot. I mean, because enthusiasm, sometimes your enthusiasm can kind of wane a small bit, but he came in and he had new drive, and he said, he was kind of saying, write some songs, get the new album done. And it kind of perked us up as well a bit, you know what I mean? Which is a good thing, for us. Every now and then we need a kick on the arse as well,
The new album is quite different, I think, to anything the band has done before. There's always been a rocky, punky element in it. This is coming out more to the top now, I think.
No disrespect to any lineup we've had before. We love this lineup, and we think we're playing really well, and we feel we've brought the arrangements and performances up to a level that we might not have reached before. I don't know, but every night we go out on stage, we want people to come to the show and see the best Saw Doctors gig that they can possibly see or that we can possibly do. And we are getting that kind of reaction at a lot of the gigs where people are saying, I've seen them 20 times and this was the best.
People do tell me that this is their favourite lineup, long-term fans of the band, so hopefully it seems to be working. We do seem to be gelling. Seem to be playing well together on stage and working well together in studio, and so it's all there.
One of the strange facts about the Saw Doctors is that people love the live band, but the records have never been as good as the band so far. And I think we may have put that right this time.
The big test for the songs when we play, because we play a lot live, and a big test for them is to go up alongside songs like the N17 or any of the established ones that we have for years.
And we've even done a few showcase gigs with all the songs played in a row from start to finish the album, and it seems to work like that.
I like Someone Loves You Just the Way You Are. I think that's a good song, great song.
Don't you change
The actual chorus is probably from 1992. God rest him, Paul Caniff, and was rehearsing with us at the time, and we had these little, I just had these chords going around and around, and he just started singing Someone Loves You Just the Way You Are. And he passed away. He passed away about 9 years ago now, and even since then I still had the chorus in my head, and I thought that this was the right time just to say, we'll make a song out of this, you know. So Leo wrote in with his own lines in it and that, and it just became a song really fast. And I'd hope that Caniff would be as proud as Punch of it. I'm sure he would be. So that's kind of a tribute to him, really.
Don't you know I miss you now and then? Someone loves you just the way you are. Someone, somewhere you're a shining star. Someone loves you just the way you are. Just the way you are. Yeah. Someone loves you just the way you are. 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 Oh, someone loves you just the way you are. Someone loves you just the way you are. Someone loves you just the way you are. Someone loves you just the way you
There's a certain amount of songs on this album that we recorded more than once. Definitely 3 of them we recorded and more or less finished, and then said, no, we can get it better and we have to get it better. And definitely putting in the work and going through the kind of disappointment of having to start again was worth it, even though it's a bit grueling when you have to make that decision. You've done so much work on something and then you say, no, it's just not what it should be.
A lot of the stuff we did was not unrehearsed. When we went into the studio, they'd be almost written in the booth as you're playing and arranged. So in a situation like that, like we would have recorded maybe 10 or 12, and you're bound to get some that aren't going to be right, you know what I mean? We did get 1 or 2 that were complete, almost first takes. And then we would have gone back in to re-record, like Hazard, back on the rock and roll. That would have been probably its 4th time being played by the band, I'd say, which is great.
days won't matter, the weeks won't matter, the months won't matter at all. Woke up
Hazard, I have a friend, I didn't tell him yet actually, but he was working with a building supplies firm and lost his job in the last few months, like so many other people. And he had a whole lot of, his job became really difficult because all it was trying to collect money off people that had none. So when he lost his job, it was a kind of a relief for him, but he said to me, I'm back on the rock and roll now, and that just seemed to have a ring to it. So.
When he said the line to me, the hazard is back in the cellar, it just makes so much sense to me because it actually ties in with just the way the times are and all that, you know, and the great lines from Leo again, of course. Leo always has those fantastic lines about economy and people got very greedy over the last 20 years, so this is back on the rock and roll, you know.
There's more of a sense of community now, and when you get the hazard back in the cellar, it's a good sign in its own way.
It won't matter, pressure won't matter, days won't matter, weeks won't matter, months won't matter, years hold on tightly. Yes, I've held it in the car keys and the phone. Oh, the hazard is back in the center, yeah. Me when I'm back on the rock and roll. I'm back on the rock and roll. Yes, I'm back on the rock and roll. There you go.
You have to be very thick-skinned when you're putting out anything. As an artist, any kind of an artist has to be kind of, you have to be able to take the criticism, because no matter what you put out, not everybody's going to like it. So you just hope that enough people like it to make it work. So we're kind of confident about this album this time.
But I wander around down through Friday town, where the road winds like a serpent on the ground. I climb the hill, freewheel past the gate, up the graveyard of the heroes of the state. Carnahine and Cave Hill, Ballinslave and Boherquill, Cluna, Stracar and Mossford, Balmore. Round every turn, a soul is passed into the next world from the last, from somewhere we'll never meet again. I see the street left behind by two young men. Oh, return, one never seen again. And the house, you can hear past into the next world from the last, from somewhere we'll never be again.
The great thing about this album is that we've actually had the time and the opportunity to try and get things as good as they possibly could be.
It's hard to say how this album differs. It just seems to. It just does. It stands out as something on its own, something different, something new, you know.
Feedback's been amazing. Feedback's been great for all the songs. You know, you always ask the audience or ask people that were at the gigs, what's the song, what's the song, what's the song, and everyone's just completely different, you know, opinions on what the best song is. It's really hard to decide. But, I mean, it's great that it kind of shows that all the songs are strong.
Have we peaked? Not at all. We've definitely improved every 6 months for the last 3 years. So, I don't think we've peaked. I think we should start recording the next album very soon. Oh no, I think if you think you've peaked, I think you should retire. Maybe we have peaked, but as long as I don't believe it, it doesn't matter.
I'd say more than likely, I'd say Leo's peaked. I'd say I haven't yet, though.